Greetings friends and welcome back to the channel. Today we have to do some updates. We were going to try and do a shade cloth for you today, but unfortunately I don't have all the parts available, so we'll get to that in the next video. But on today's episode, we're going to update you on some of the plants and how they're growing, things that we've done in previous episodes, and what the results are going to be. Now again, because I'm in the desert Southwest, we deal with a lot of extreme heat in the summer. We have to take remedies to prevent plants from just absolutely just dying off, and a lot of that is shade structure, which we'll do in the next episode. But for this one, I just want you to get kind of familiar with what's in the ground and what's going on, and also what's in pots and everything else that's in the greenhouse. There is so much that we can cover in this video, so just spend a few moments with us. It's a shorter one than normal, and we'll jump right into it on That Garden Place. Real quickly, let's return to the planting desk. If you remember in last week's episode, we planted some heirloom tomatoes from a Mennonite community that I visited while I was traveling through Tennessee. And what is amazing about this is they've already sprouted. There's only one pot here where there's not a seedling, and they're also looking really green, strong, and healthy. I'm very excited. Can't wait to split some of these out as they continue to grow. So we'll have an update on these in the future. Both of these are, again, heirlooms, the German pink tomatoes and the Cherokee purple. The habanero peppers continue to go absolutely crazy out here in the garden. And you know what? That's about normal for this time of year. Why? Well, because believe it or not, they love the hot. And in this greenhouse, they get plenty of it. And they get plenty of it year round. So between the peppers and the tomatoes, we never seem to run out. The end of the growing season is here. That means this is the last cauliflower of the season, which means we need to harvest it before it goes bad. Again, in hot climates, these things need to be addressed very quickly when your springtime has ended. One of the great things about cauliflower is when you harvest them, you don't really have to be very dainty. You can lean them over. They're very stalky at this point, well grown, big leaves, all kinds of things like that. All the little bug guys are bailing out, knowing what's about to happen, which is clipping away your cauliflower. Look at that. Amazing stuff. In fact, let's zoom out a little. Wow. Beautiful. Now we just need to go inside and clean it. Now a great shot of the herbs outside the greenhouse. They are growing and going absolutely crazy. Amazing stuff. Very excited. The herbs have an opportunity to benefit from a lot of different watering techniques, and the half-day sun works very well for them. Do you remember our English comfrey? Well, there it is, starting to go absolutely crazy. Now, I only got one of the scions to grow, so the other two are dormant down below. I don't know. I may dig them up and check them in another video, but for right now, you can see these enormous leaves coming in, and it's getting ready to be, well, a harvestable green mulch and input crop in the very near future. The blackberries are happy though, and they're just starting to bloom and escaping their containment. This happens with blackberry bushes, guys, and they spread just like any other of these types of bushes, or like the comfrey. Their root systems grow and expand and, well, just continue to drop roots from anywhere it touches the ground. So if you want to control one of these, it's best to put it in a pot. Otherwise, you just set a bed free with this and it'll eventually find its way out. Regardless, we've had several berries already this year, and there have been birds that have decided to help themselves. But what's another great way to spread this plant is by providing it a bucket full of soil right next to its containment, and it will root, and then it can travel with you wherever you go, as long as it's legal. Once again, look at these guys and their flowers. Amazing stuff right now. As the sun continues to ride into the summer sky, we have a whole lot of potatoes growing. That's right, that's all this is. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. And these, of course, are the elevated raised beds, which are working very well. In fact, they're working so well, I'm going to have to make more of these because it means we can get even bigger yields of potatoes. In fact, we should even build boxes underneath these guys. It's going to be wild this year as we start to see some of them die back because of heat and direct sun, but we're already well begun as these have flowered over here, and we're going to have some reds, some Yukon golds, and some purples. Amazing. Real quick shot of the purple potatoes, which started a little later than the others, even though we planted them at the same time. Didn't seem to get the same kickstart, but that's probably because of the temperatures. These two beds are really starting to go, and of course there's our ula, and we've also got even more. In fact, this is what they look like when they flower. And of course you can see the shade cloth on top of the other potato bin. Quick shot of the wildflower bin, and guess what? They're growing and going wild. Gotta love it. We got Dr. Killer airplanes flying overhead, so while that one passes over, let's take a look at these guys in more detail. And it looks like we're on the last season of this pineapple plant. Now these things can get enormous and do very well, but after 4 harvests, which is 4 seasons, you're done. So this guy has had his 4th season, and well, we'll replace him in a future video. You can watch that process. It works well. And finally, today's star of the video, kukes. That's right, cucurbits, which are amazing. Great for pickling, and I'm very much looking forward to these and the zucchinis we have growing on trellises as well. Of course, there's marigolds shown here. These are already flowering and crawling this trellis like with amazing speed. Very excited about these guys. Now, we have 8 of these currently, and they're all flowering now, which is exactly what you want. And of course, on this side of the house, they get sun half the day. These sun leaves gather the sun, and then when it gets shady over here, they take that sun, convert it into energy to produce the fruit from the flowers. These guys are usually self-pollinating, although the pollinators enjoy the flowers and will work. So that about wraps up today's update on what's going on in the garden. We've got a lot going on out here, and we're now having to actively manage the temperature for the plants. In fact, so much so that I'm going to show you how to build a redneck cooler to kind of cool your greenhouse a little bit. This also works indoors if you absolutely need it. That's going to be a short that's coming up at least at the end of the week, I hope. We've also got one short coming up about how to make your own healthy Italian dressing and a few other recipes on the way as well. So stick around with the channel. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button down in the bottom corner below. If you are subscribed, hit the thumbs up button. Even if you're not subscribed, hit the thumbs up button. And then watch another video from, going back to the first episode. And you can see the progress we're slowly making here at this property. And in the future, when we get into Tennessee, lots to do there. From beginning to end, you'll be able to follow how to build out from the edges inward and go forward with your own garden property. On that note, thank you very much for watching today's video. Your comments are welcome. Your questions are welcome. You're welcome to watch That Garden Place.